Let's talk about hiring out tasks and what types of tasks you should hire out for in different phases of your business. So this is a really hot topic right now. A lot of TPT sellers, even in the early stages of their business, are thinking about what they can hire out. And then there are a lot of people who've been doing it all on their own for a very long period of time. And they're finally saying, you know what, I should have done this a long time ago. I need to start hiring out some help. And the question is always, what do I hire out? How do I prioritize that money or the money that I have based on the stage of business that I'm in? So we're going to talk about 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, advanced levels and stages in your business, understanding that every business is different. And so the advice that I'm going to give here is going to be very generalized for most people and something that would work for most people. However, everybody's different. Everyone is choosing to grow their businesses in a different way. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more as we go. But these are just some basic, I'm not going to call them guidelines, but suggestions for growth when it comes to hiring out and what you should be looking to hire out in different stages of your business. So first, the big question is, when should I think about hiring out? And this is one of the ones that's very subjective because everyone is different. You know, when I first started my TPT business, I didn't have any extra money. I had a hard time paying for clip art. I didn't pay for fonts. I didn't pay for very much at all. There was very little that I paid for whenever I was creating my resources because I didn't have a lot of extra money. I also was not really viewing my business as a business at the time. I was kind of seeing like what kind of hobby money I could make from it and just where it would go. And it was kind of for fun. And that's the stage that I was in. And even if I had wanted to invest a lot of money up front, I didn't really have it to invest. So the idea of me starting off as a single person on a very low income teaching salary, living in a 1-bedroom apartment, hiring a VA in the very beginning would have been completely out of the question for quite some time. But then there are other people who are starting with maybe another business. Maybe TPT isn't your first business, or maybe you have some additional discretionary income that you can use to initially fund and invest inside of your business. And if that's the case, then you have a few more options when it comes to what you can hire out in the beginning. So this is definitely not to say that if you're a beginner on TPT that you need to be hiring out or that you should be hiring out. I don't think that that's the case at all. It's just that you can hire out. And if you want to, what are some tasks that would be worth your money to hire out? So to answer that question very, very broadly of when should you think about hiring out, I think the general answer for that is whenever you can afford it. If you can afford it right away and you feel comfortable spending that money, then absolutely go ahead and do it. I would say you would probably need to walk through the process several times yourself before you're hiring out for specific tasks. So walk through the product creation process, create those covers, create those previews, maybe make sure that you're doing things correctly before you hire somebody else to do them for you. But absolutely, you can still hire out in the very beginning and hire out some tasks. So let's talk about what some of those things might look like in the beginning that'll kind of help you get your money's worth. Now, we're talking specifically about hiring people to help you. We're not talking about purchasing courses. We're not talking about memberships or anything like that. We're specifically just talking about hiring, say, a virtual assistant, probably not an employee at this stage. That would be a really big leap, but just depending on where you're at in your business, maybe you already have another business and you're using that business to help leverage with TPT. In that case, that's a whole different ballgame. But for most people, probably not an employee, probably going to be an independent contractor, right? So the first thing that I would look at hiring out in the very beginning are menial tasks. These are tasks that are repetitive, time consuming, and don't take a lot of thought or creativity. So this is like you've got that really great cover or preview template that you've already created for your products, and you just need somebody to go through and as you create products to create covers and previews for those products. Another example would be running resources through Flatpak and adding in your terms of use pages. So that's something that one of my VAs still does for me to this day because my terms of use pages are already pre-made, pre-linked, pre-everything, and I don't have those in PowerPoint. And sometimes they're different slide sizes than the product that I'm creating in PowerPoint. So they're added in after that resource has been flattened and secured. I then combine my terms of use documents with the product, and the VA does that afterwards. So she does that separately. So she'll put all of that together. Another thing is that she'll go in and put in links. So let's say you're creating digital resources for Google or maybe Boom Cards or what have you. You can hire out the menial task of going in, creating those force copy links if you're putting them inside of a PDF, and creating those force copy links, putting them inside the PDF, and then saving that PDF and securing it, or uploading the resources to TPT. That's another big one. Or let's say that you are new at this and you realize, like, oh my goodness, I forgot to tag all of my standards, and all of those standards need to be tagged for all of those grade level or for all those products that I've created. Then hire somebody to go through and tag all the standards for you. Any of those menial tasks that take up a lot of time for you and pull you away from doing things that are going to make you money are really great things to hire out for in the beginning, because it's going to give you more time to work on those money making tasks that I'm not going to say only you can do, because that's not true, but that might be more expensive, right? So for example, it's a lot cheaper for me to pay somebody to do something like flatten and secure documents, or combine PDF pages, or upload them to TPT, or organize things in a Google Drive. It's a lot cheaper for me to pay somebody to do that than it is to pay someone to create a product. So I can do the expensive part, the product creation, early on, and hire somebody else to do those less expensive tasks that are a little bit more budget friendly, but still going to save me a lot of time. Another thing that I would consider hiring out for in the beginning, for things like I need to build a website, or I need to get my blog up and running, or I need to get my email list set up and I don't have a clue what I'm doing, and that's extremely scary for me. Maybe some of those one-time things that are really big, but you can pay someone one time to do them and set you up for success, could save you so much time. If you think about how much time it takes to set up a WordPress site or set up their blogger or whatever, if you think about how much time it takes to learn all of those things when you could be creating products, it's worth it to spend several hundred or maybe even $1,000 to $2,000 to pay someone to do that for you, so that you can focus on doing the things that are bringing money in for you. And again, it's a one-time thing. So this could be something that in the beginning you set aside $50 a month or $100 a month, or just a small chunk of money each month to work towards paying for that one-time expert task that you would really like to hire out. And those are really great things to do, because learning everything in the beginning is a lot. And I think for a lot of us as TPT sellers, like, again, it just was not anywhere near as popular to like have a VA or to hire out tasks. That just wasn't something that everybody seemed to be doing whenever I started on TPT. Maybe they were and they just weren't talking about it, but it seems like more and more people are doing that. More and more people are talking about it. More and more people are sharing about how they're investing their money in their business, which I think is really great, because it honestly makes so much more sense for most people to hire out those tasks rather than spend all of the time learning how to do all of the things. Because as a business owner, you're already going to have to learn how to do so many different things. But if I can do website maintenance, or just upload a blog post instead of having to build the website and figure out where to put everything and, figure out what all I need for that, I can just go and like create a blog post and upload it. That takes a lot off my plate. And when you really take a step back as a business owner and think, like, why would I spend 200 hours learning how to build a website and creating it for myself if I'm only going to do that once? Right? It's not like I'm going to have all of these different businesses and all of these different websites where I'm going to have to continue to pay somebody to continue to build new websites for me. It's a one and done situation, hopefully, right? So like, why would I spend all that time learning a skill that I'm not going to maintain, nor do I need to maintain it? So just something to think about. When we're moving a little bit past that and we're talking about spending a little bit more money, and like you're at the point in your business where you're ready to spend a little bit more, I would say that some of the bigger tasks that I would look at hiring out in that mid tier would be product creation. That's a really big one. I like hiring out for product creation and suggesting that people hire out for product creation, because it's one of the few things that, generally speaking, is going to generate revenue for your business apart from marketing, right? So creating new products, having new resources, it's something that you can hire out. And if you already have templates of your products, then it makes it so much easier to just hire somebody to fill those templates for you. And then you can focus on some of the bigger picture pieces of your business, designing resources that are super unique to you. I think so many brand new TPT sellers, not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them, kind of get stuck in that product creation wheel of like, I want to turn out as many products as possible. And in order to do that, I don't really have time to be creative or to create unique and amazing resources. So I'm going to use a pre-made template, or I'm going to copy something else that I've already seen on TPT. And those are not going to be the things that are going to set your business up for long-term success. And so really creating standout products and taking the time to create those standout, unique templates for your business and then hiring somebody else to fill them, it gives you a little bit more space and a little bit more margin to be able to do that and to really kind of think long term inside of your business and to take that piece off of your plate. Another thing that's really great to hire out is marketing. It could be a one-time thing. This could mean you hire somebody out to write a sales funnel for you, or maybe you hire somebody to write your weekly emails for you. Maybe you hire someone to help you create content on Instagram or to manage your social media accounts, something like that. But hiring out like specific tasks, like this person is going to write 4 emails a month for me. This person is going to create an email sales funnel for me, or this person is going to run Facebook ads for me. Hiring out pieces of marketing or things that are going to drive traffic ultimately to your TPT store and get more sales on those products that you've worked so hard to create is a really great way to invest your money. Another thing would be to carry over those same things that you were hiring out before. So when we move into that next stage of our business, you have to think that whatever you were hiring out before, like those menial tasks, you don't want to pick those back up. It's not like, oh, I'll do the menial tasks and now they'll be creating the products. Now you're back to working for $15, $20 an hour while you pay somebody else to work $50 an hour to create products for you, right? So, and those are just made up numbers. Please don't use those as a guide, but that's not where we want to go in our business. We want to make sure that we're carrying that over. So we still have somebody who is performing those menial tasks for our business, but then we also have someone doing product creation. I have someone creating the product, and then it goes over to this person who's doing menial tasks for my business, creating the covers, creating the previews, flattening and securing those documents, and then it's moving on. And then it's moving on to me or to somebody else to be uploaded, or maybe they're also uploading them onto TPT. And then, of course, you want to continue with those expert tasks. So this does not mean necessarily that just because somebody's doing product creation for me, that it's now a wise and smart idea for me to learn how to build websites. And I would say the only exception to this rule would be, again, if you don't have the cash flow for it, or if you think it would be something that you would enjoy and you would want to do for other people and they could hire you to create websites for them, right? So, but we're carrying all of that stuff on. So everything that we were paying for before in the beginner, we're still hiring those tasks out, but then we're adding on kind of a new layer where we only end up focusing on the thing that we are best at and the thing that we really want to contribute to our business or oversee in our business. So we're kind of like starting on the outer layers and kind of working our way in, right? With the median tasks as well, because we're talking about marketing, so that spans the gamut. When we talk about product creation, that also spans the gamut. But then I would say for sure with those expert tasks, that's going to kind of grow a little bit more too. So this kind of moves us into the advanced category. And I have to say for most of this, I'm not here yet because I focused maybe a little too hard on diversifying my income streams. And my businesses grew really, really quickly in terms of how many businesses there were and how much what the workload was. So I haven't gotten to a point yet because everything has grown so fast. I didn't really have the time to hire managers or to hire people to like oversee things. So I ended up with like a lot of people doing a lot of different things versus it being a little bit more streamlined. So do as I say and not as I do on this one probably is a good strategy. But for this one, like I would say when you get into more advanced, that's when we're looking at really taking it a step further with bridging that gap where we've got experts at the top, we've got menial tasks at the bottom, like routine tasks at the bottom. Then we're getting a little bit more specialized with hiring somebody to do product creation or to do marketing for us. And then we're also hiring people to do product creation, which is when we're talking about product creation in the intermediate level of your business, we're not talking about somebody starting a whole product from scratch. Again, we're talking about them using the templates that you've created for them and just inserting problems and just filling those templates in with content. So we're kind of talking about filling those gaps. But what we really need at that advanced level is we really need somebody to oversee projects. And this is where I think the magic kind of starts to happen. I'll let you know when I get there. But for everybody who's already there, they're like, yeah, that's where the magic happens, right? Is where I'm no longer the person who's communicating individually with each one of the 4 writers. I have myself communicating with one project manager who's able to oversee all of the things that are being done in terms of product creation, right? So I have somebody who knows what all is being created and is working with each one of the writers to make sure that everything is going according to the process, and that if they have a question, they can ask that manager instead of coming to me and asking me. And then that manager can then ensure that those resources are getting down to the virtual assistants, who are then flattening, securing, and uploading to TPT. So kind of overseeing that area of your business. Same for marketing. You can hire a marketing manager. So rather than having somebody who just writes emails for you or just creates an email sales funnel for you, this could then be somebody who oversees all of your email marketing, right? They're working with the Facebook ads experts to make sure that your Facebook ads are working correctly, to make sure that Facebook ads are generating new leads for your email list. There may be collaborating with other sellers and other niches for you to help you expand through collaborations. And maybe they're just overseeing all of the different ways that you can grow from organic traffic and get organic traffic on your email list. So having a marketing manager for that, or this also goes into when we're planning on expanding our business and we're moving into other areas, having a project manager for things like creating and moving everything over onto your own website and selling on your own store and moving all of that over, so that that person is overseeing that whole project and making sure that everything's getting done. And if there are people who are uploading content onto your website for you, they're overseeing and managing all of that. So having it to where we're really filling in those gaps to where we can then focus on the big picture for our store, or focus on the thing that we are really good at. Maybe you're the face for your business and you need to create content for your business. You need to tell stories. Maybe you need to shoot video content. Maybe you're the person who's really good at social media and you need to be showing up on stories, or you need to be creating some type of video content or showing up on YouTube, like whatever that is in particular. You can then kind of take the step back and choose what to focus on in your business, where you can really shine and how you're going to have the greatest impact in your business, and allow other people to take over the areas of your business that are just sucking your time. So you can hire out a lot of different people, but at some point in your business, you're going to need somebody to think for you. And this is the point where I'm at. I just need someone to think about all of this for me. I don't need to have to make a decision about this over here or that over there. I need for somebody to be able to see what's going on in my business, understand what needs to happen next, and communicate that to people for me, so that I'm not constantly having to field questions throughout the business day, and I can focus on the things that, again, I want to say only I can do, but are really just important that I do them. So those would be kind of the 3 levels. Really focusing in the very beginning on hiring out those really high-level tasks that are going to take a lot of your time away from doing the things that you need to do inside of your business, like product creation in the beginning, hiring out those tasks that are very menial and also going to be low cost for you, like securing your documents or creating covers, creating previews, making pins on Pinterest, things like that. And then moving on into the things that are really going to push your business forward for you, like hiring out some of that marketing or hiring out some of that product creation, and help you get your business to that next level where you can hire people to oversee things for you, so that you can have a little bit more of a hands-off approach to your business. All right. If you have any questions about hiring out, be sure and ask them inside of the Facebook group. This is a question that people really like to discuss. There are so many great places to find virtual assistants, to find people who can help you inside of your business. And I know that there are a lot of people in our own community who do virtual assistant work or are experts, and they will write emails for you or do all kinds of incredible things for you. So be sure to go inside of our Facebook group if you have a question about hiring out a task, or how to hire somebody out, or whether or not this is a good next step for you and for your business. All right, you guys, I'm going to see you guys right back here next week.